The Republican candidates that were MAGA 2020 stolen election people took a rough handling in the 2022 midterms. And most of them lost. And they had an interesting take on the elections. They said, if I win, I win. If I lose, I won. That is, of course, something you have to sell to people who want to buy what you're selling, want to believe what you're saying. Here in Ohio, that did not work quite as well. And the reason for that, Vance, who was the Republican candidate, did push the lie that the 2020 election was stolen. And so he was able to have Donald Trump's stamp of approval, which during primaries is essential at this point. Only for Republican primaries, only Republicans vote, and only the most committed Republicans vote, because primaries are low turnout. And so it is Donald Trump's ability to destroy a Republican candidate in the primaries. He has no ability to build, only to destroy. But that is an ability. That is influence, absolutely. And all Republican candidates know this to be the case, that if they're going to work against Donald Trump, then during the primaries, it's very difficult for them to make headway and to come out of the primaries as the Republican candidate. So that is what this Vance character did, going through the primaries. But directly after the primaries, oh, did he moderate his tone. He backed way off as soon as the primaries were over, because of course, after the primaries, you have to win the general election, when not just Republicans vote, but all voters come in and say who they want for their candidate. Now, so that was his first step, to moderate. But the reason he won is not that. People remembered what he had said before the primaries. The reason he won is that the Democratic Party gave up on Ohio and gave his opponent, Tim Ryan, very little support in the state of Ohio. And that was a calculated decision. I mean, you need to remember what it was like before the election. Red wave! That people really thought that the Republicans were going to do super great. And since Democrats had lost Ohio several times, they figured, what the hey, we'll go ahead and we'll let this Vance take over Portman's seat, and that is why he won. He basically had no competition in the state from support for his opponent from the Democratic Party. The idea of Donald Trump saying, hey, I mean, if he had won the election in 2020, he would have had no trouble. He would not have been screaming, oh my goodness, since I won, the election was stolen, and I'm sure that Biden won. No, it goes the other way. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. That reminds me very much of a magic trick. My wife and I have raised many children. And sometimes I think my job as a father was just to entertain, throw the children around, and goodness, tell them jokes and just have a good time with them. Go swimming in the pool with them and splash around. And anyway, have a wonderful time. But one thing I did with the children is a magic trick. Woohoo! And the magic trick went like this. I said to the children, I can make you win at flipping a coin every single time. You win every single time. You call the quarter in the air, and when it comes down, you win. And so I'd flip a coin in the air, and I'd take it, I'd put it on my hand, and then I'd slowly take my hand away and say, ha! See, you win. Or maybe they didn't. If they won, of course, Then I had told them they had won, and I'd take the quarter and put it away and say, yeah, that's a really cool trick. It's really amazing what your dad can do. But of course, if I took my hand away and they lost, I'd say, oh man, I didn't do it right. Let me try it again, because I just didn't do it right. I always had a 50-50 chance. And there was a significant chance that I'd come out of that looking like pretty amazing. If I did it the second time and it came out that they won, then again, I'd try to pass it off and say, yeah, you did it. I did it. See, you won. This is exactly what Trump and the Republicans' leadership who are supporting him are doing right now. They are denying elections by simply saying, hey, if I win, I win. If I lose, I win. And that is the reason that Trump candidates did so poorly in the election, because I think people recognize this to be the case. And they recognize if a person is going to cheat to win the election, then how long will it be before they cheat to take away a person's right to vote? How long will it be before, when that voters' desires are not in lockstep with Donald Trump's, that their rights are going to be taken away? There is no honor among thieves. And just because a person will get into office does not mean that they will continue to do what that voter wants. And if they will cheat to accomplish their goals of increasing power and money, then they will also cheat to take away rights from individuals within the country.